how are you? This is yours truly, Triple G, coming at you again, yet again, with another episode. If you are new to this channel, I thank you for your time and welcome. Okay, so basically the premise of this channel really is I have no talent, zero, none whatsoever. I have no skills. However, I do have insatiable appetite for gear, some epic, some not, but it doesn't really matter. My philosophy on collecting gear is I basically buy and collect what I like. Whether it's investment worthy, none of that stuff matters. I look at something, I feel that I can connect with it, I like it, or whatever. So that's kind of what I tend to buy. Some are cheap and some are not so cheap, and then I kind of go over what I like about that particular guitar or related gear on this channel. So typically stuff that I say will be that I like something only because I spend my actual personal money acquiring every single thing that I show you on this channel. So obviously I wouldn't have bought something if I didn't like it, right? So I tell you as is, when certain things bug me about a guitar, I tell you. But again, because I spent my hard-earned dollar on whatever that I show you, generally speaking, the stuff that I show you will be something that I like. Okay, so that out of the way, let's now talk about this particular guitar. So about a week ago or so, I did an unboxing video for this, which I will link right here. This is a 2018 Mayones Regis 6. Alright, so by this time you would have seen the pictures, still pictures of a guitar up close, but I'll show you here live on the camera. So reverse headstock, which I don't necessarily care for. Graphtec nut, ebony fretboard, no inlay markers, 3-ply pearl acrylic binding. By the way, binding work is ridiculously good here. Flame maple top, satin finish. The 3-ply acrylic, pearl acrylic binding carries out through the body. Swamp ash body, obviously a neck through, and little attention to detail, like hopefully camera can catch it right here on the cavity cover. You can see that there's a Mayones, handcrafted in Poland, information right here. Okay, so even though it doesn't have the belly cut, the carve is extremely a lot more pronounced right here to be ergonomically correct. The round off edge here is not as pronounced, but it is very nicely done right around here. Just all throughout the body. Again, binding carries out. And on the back of the guitar, you have Spurzl locking tuner, 11-ply maple Amazakoe and Wenge, 11-piece neck, Schaller strap lock. So that pretty much is the guitar. Now let me step back so you can see a little bit better. All right, so let's talk about the guitar. Earlier last year, I did a video. One second, please. I get a little bit talky and then I get all thirsty and shit. Earlier last year, I did a chat on Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder. I'll link it right here. In that video, I talk about finding value when you purchase a guitar. Just because it's an expensive guitar, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good guitar. What you are doing is you're increasing the odds of you getting a good guitar. So by the time you spend the type of money that costs to get one of these things, PRS custom, 10 top, whatever, you're spending a lot of money, and it better be a good guitar at that point with that kind of money outgoing. So when you have to reason saying, is a particular guitar worth whatever I spent? So you have to be emotionally attached. It inspires you to play. You know, all those things come into play. Now, with that, material, craftsmanship, all of that come in all together. The aforementioned, the Schecter Sun Valley at 629, that was a crazy, great build quality out of Korean factory. EMG retroactive series pickups, and nothing to fault on that build for 629. So when you spend this kind of money, what extra are you getting? It is handcrafted. I'm sure the wood stuff is CNC'd. Maybe I'm wrong. Could it be hand carved? I don't know. But when I first got this out of the box, when I held it and when I messed with it a little bit, my initial impression was there's a lot of substance to this guitar. It's just extremely well built. And you know, on my channel somewhere, there's basically every winter when I go to NAMM show, I stop by Mayones booth every single time, and I just sit there, I hold one of these things and I drool. And I'm sure that is well documented on some of my NAMM videos from yesteryears. So when I finally was able to get this guitar, I was extremely pumped. The seller offered to swap out the Seymour Duncan pickups that were already on here, which was JB and Jazz. I got it replaced with Fisherman Fluent's modern pickup set. So now before I go any further, let's go take a listen. Earlier you listened to the neck pickup. Now we'll go take a listen to the bridge pickup. All right, so, you know, obviously my playing doesn't do any justice for the type of gear that I am showing you today. But, you know, does it gent? I don't even know what that means, but I'm sure it does gent. I don't know. Now looking at the guitar, the volute is right here. And I wish the volute was a little bit farther up that way towards the tip of the headstock. But because I notice my thumb is hitting the volute when I'm fretting the first fret. So for instance, if you were holding the F chord, F major chord, your thumb is right on top of the volute. So that does bother me a little bit. I'm not sure if I've ever seen another guitar where the volute is positioned so low. So that the neck is a if I could pronounce the C shape. It doesn't feel like something I've seen, something I've felt before. It is a newer profile. I don't know. The radius is 16 inches. The scale length is 25.4 inches. 24 frets, medium jumbo frets. What else? What else on this guitar? Just the edges are just rolled off very nicely. The binding work is just absolutely superb. Obviously no fret sprouting. The ebony looks just gorgeous. Not a huge fan of a satin finish. However, on this particular guitar, I do enjoy it immensely. And right here where normally you would see, like, think of a JP16, you know, John Petrucci series guitar from Ernie Ball. There would be a pronounced forearm contour right here, so that, you know, your forearm can rest right there. Now you don't see it as pronounced. However, the top surface just gradually and gracefully tapers off right here. So there is actually a forearm contour. You just can't, if you just look at it like this, it looks flat, but it actually is not flat. So it is thinner right here than compared to like right there. So ergonomically, the guitar is just, when you have it sitting down, now I have not had it strapped on, but if you have it just sitting like this, I mean, it just rests snug perfectly against your body and just plays really well. And I'm sure the neck also has some kind of composite or carbon reinforcement. Pretty sure it's not just a truss rod. The neck feels absolutely solid. I'm not a huge fan of the reverse headstock. I'll learn to love it, I'm sure, on this guitar. The open gear right here. The open gear tuners is what I meant to say. The pearl acrylic binding, which is carried out through the fretboard as well as the top edge of the body. Normally, this type of binding I find a little garish, but because the top is so subdued, I don't have a gloss finish or like a 3D popping out quilt top or any of that. So a little bit of a highlighting accent here. I don't mind it so much. So, you know, when I spent this type of money, which this was like several years in making, I was hoping that I would end up with something nice. I did buy this guitar sight unseen from a very reputable vendor on Reverb. Purchased it brand new. I was provided plenty of pictures, and then throughout the process of him changing out the pickups and whatnot, he filled me in pictures and everything. So I knew exactly what I was getting into. Guitar was shipped out of Netherlands. It showed up on my front door 3 days after, which is awesome. So there was no issues versus buying something in, you know, locally, I guess. Not that there is a local dealer of Mayones near me. There may be, but I don't know which. So my overall to you, I'm sure if you are going to buy one of these, I'm sure you will do a lot of research on your own and everything. You will watch somebody else's video like Ola and Misha and everybody else who's shown one of these on their channels. They'll be able to demo it way better than I do. And that's the reason why I don't call my videos review, because I'm not qualified to do a review. I just kind of talk about things from a just normal, just run-of-the-mill, next-door guy kind of vibe. So when I look at it, it is definitely a gorgeous piece. It's something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. It's not one of those guitars that I will sell. I'll hold on to this until my last dying breath. So I'm just really pleased that I got to get one of these. Very pumped about it. Just plays so smooth. I mean, yeah, I got no skills, but when I sat down and I just play, it's just awesome. And then, even on electric guitars, you want the resonance coming from the guitar, even when it's unplugged, because, you know, the string vibration carrying out throughout the body so that it resonates through the guitar, which will transfer to the pickups and the wire, the amp and everything. This guitar is just very loud. So even when I'm not plugged in, I just strum with my hand. I don't even have picks. It just, you can feel it vibrate, and you can just really feel the instrument wanting to do its job. So I feel sorry that I'm not good enough, but gear itself will never disappoint me. This is a extremely well-built instrument, and if an opportunity comes I was looking for used one as well, and I would have if the deal came at a right price at the right time. If you're looking for one of these, get one. That's all I can say. The deals are available if you look hard enough and long enough. Somebody will have it. Funny enough, on Reverb when I was buying this, there was a one available that was actually used on Trey's video. Trey, if you guys don't know, is Gear Gods. I love that guy's videos. He's fucking hilarious. And he's actually right down the street from me. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's in Southern California, maybe in Burbank area. I don't know why I say that, but I think he might have mentioned it on one of his videos, which means he's just right down the street. So the Mayones Regis that he showed on his video was actually on sale out of New York somehow. So I did have I was contemplating a little bit, but I think that thing might have had a floating bridge. And on my Regius, I didn't want a floating bridge because lately I've been buying some guitars that have floating bridge, whether that's Ibanez Edge or like a Floyd, whatever. So wanted to go hardtail, and because it's just easy to tune. I could do drop D, that kind of stuff, and detuning without having to worry about no fucking bridge messing me up. Intonation is a whole another story, but there you go. All right, so I've been really talkative on this video, so let me shut my mouth and move on. And again, my final parting words. If you have the means and you are looking for an epic guitar, this is one of the ones that I was looking for, along with a Vic Duality, perhaps Ormsby, Blackwater. There's this very boutique-ish builders that came to surface maybe 2-3 years ago. There was one that I'm missing, which I really like. God, I wish I could remember. Anyhow, so eventually I will get me a Vic Duality. That thing costs like $5,000, but I'll find a way to get one. I don't know about the others. But again, going back, if you have the means and you are looking for one, new or used, if it's well taken care of, assuming that it is a used guitar, then just find a good deal for yourself. This is an exquisitely built guitar. The quality and craftsmanship just devastatingly good. Just awesome. And what can I say? You do get what you pay for. And sometimes you do better than what you pay for, depending on who makes what, like that Schecter Sun Valley that I keep talking about, because that's such a good value. But this was a real good get. I have zero regret. It's an extremely great guitar. I love it, and I'm sure you will too. All right, so that wraps up this episode. I'll be back within the next couple of days. Until next time, you guys take care.